Alright, what's going on, guys? I got a match for you today versus pretty much the one, the only KingDaddyDMAC. And he already has his end uploaded. I'll put it in the description, but you're here to watch it on my channel anyway. But if you haven't, go ahead and check it out on his channel as well. And it was a match we took at my live stream, one of the 3 or 4 fucking days that I streamed in a row. I really can't be bothered to remember. But it was a really cool match. It was featuring a couple of Ubers that have actually gotten to move down tiers because just the whole 5th gen is just some kind of fiasco on Smogon. So we're gonna go ahead and play it back right now, and yeah, we'll just go from there. Kind of waiting to see what happens here. Okay, so he leads with the Dawn Fan, and for some reason I led with Starmie over Blaziken, and I'm like squealing with joy at this point internally because I actually did start the match off on the right foot. He's not going to want to stay in for that whatsoever. So I go with the Hydro Pump, and I guess he predicted Ice Beam, and that's why he went out to the Scizor. Thankfully it does a hefty chunk to Scizor, and he's not going to want to stay in again. I go for the T-Bolt because it's one of the only neutral moves I have. I could have gone with Hydro Pump, but as you see, he brought in his Skyform Shaman here, so... And unfortunately, I do get the pair hacks on him, and he told me that that was a key player on his team, and looking at the rest of my roster, it did happen to be a key player. So, not really much I can do there. He does get a pair hacks on me later. It's not as vital, but what are you going to do? And then in comes Deoxys, and I'm like, holy tits, I've never seen one of these. And it's got this little bendy elbow thing that's, you know, kind of cool. So I go into my Scizor because I figure I can try to force him out with priority, and I know I can more than likely take a T-Bolt, but unfortunately he gets the pair hacks right back, and there's not really much I'm going to be able to do about that. It doesn't really matter too much to me that my Scizor has pair hacks, since it does rely on priority anyway. It just means I'm going to be slower than this Dawn Fan. I'm not going to be able to get up a roost safely. He told me this thing had max HP and attack. It's actually not a bulky set that has like defense invested in it or like Spec D or anything. But he gets his rocks up, and I do get paralyzed. That was the turn that I was going to go for a roost. I don't know whether or not I would have lived this Earthquake at full health. So that way, you know, I could have gone out and then came back in, and I would have at least had somewhat of a, you know, makeshift check to his Speed Form Deoxys, but unfortunately I can't really do much about it right here. In comes my Starmie to force him out, and you know, all he can really do is take a hit. It's just this back and forth game with my Starmie versus his Deoxys, and who's gonna force who out, and who's gonna take the next hit, the next blow, and you know, what can we predict and what can we go from there. So his Deoxys comes in, forces my Starmie out yet again because this thing's absolutely blisteringly fast. And I know he's going to go for the T-Bolt, so I go to my Metagross, who hopefully, you know, can take at least one. And after Rocks, I think I'm going to be able to take 2. If I do get the pair hacks, I do have a Lumberry on this, so I should be good to go. And looking at the health, I might be able to. God forbid damage variation screws me over. But I take it with 39, which is great, and I'm just going to go ahead and go for the Meteor Mash. And had it missed, that would have been really bad for me because I don't have any other counters for it, and that potentially could have been the game. And I do happen to take it out, but he brings in his Voltros, which is bad here because this thing is also somewhat fast. Starmie does outspeed it, but this thing has a really good spec attack, pretty decent speed. It's like if they took off a little bit of base speed from Starmie and put it in spec attack, and that's what you have there. But, you know, just with different typing. It still is the same kind of threat, because it does have a really nice move pool as well. But going off on that, I did bring my Shaman to this match, and I figured, you know, because Skyman was previously banned, I figured, you know, we'll give Eureka some wings here. But unfortunately, HP Ice does exactly half according to his end, and that's with specs, and I'm like, oh man, I didn't even get to use her, oh well. So my Starmie forces him out again for the 3rd time, and he's forced to switch to something else as fodder. He told me over Skype prior to me narrating this that Starmie was like an absolute check to his team, and he wasn't prepared for it at all. So a little bit lucky on this part, especially because of Rupushin comes in. And the one thing that you really need to make sure on Rupushin is that you get its health down as low as you can, as quick as you can. And thankfully that's what I managed to do here. I he didn't think I had the psychic, or he was praying that I didn't. But I actually do carry it. Does a nice amount to it, despite him being, I think he's max HP. But he gets the bulk up, and he's going to go for the Mach Punch, and that's going to take me out. I can't really do anything about it. Actually, you know what, I probably could have gone to something as fodder, gone to Vaporeon, attempted to pass a Wish, but with Boltro still out there, it's not really a reliable strategy to do, and foddering out right there was probably the best thing I could have done. Well, not foddering, but I guess just staying in. Now, he makes a misplay here, and he goes for Mach Punch. He told me Drain Punch is what he meant to do, and that is obviously the better play. Because if he went for Drain Punch, he would have had more health. He would have been able to live the next Surf. I don't have Toxic on this Vaporeon, so there was no way I could have Toxic stalled him out. But Surf is going to be a 2-hit KO on the remainder of his health because of his misplay there. So combined with the Parahacks and that going as well, it's not really looking too good for him. I think we were 2-2 at that point. He's going to go ahead and take me out with a Stab T-Bolt. Absolutely no hopes of living that whatsoever, because Boltros is just really great. I've been using one recently, and you know they're really good. So I go into Blaziken, hoping he doesn't have the Psychic, because they do carry that. Well, they don't carry it normally. I don't know. Mine does, but they get it. And the point is that he didn't have it. I lived the Stab T-Bolt, and I am actually able to take it out with a Stone Edge, which is great. That was a great game, DMAC. I really couldn't ask for anything more. Lived, what was it? It was 1-0, like 25 health. It was great. Nothing short. And that's the game, guys. I really don't know what I'm going to be doing in terms of more matches. I'll try to have more. I'm fairly busy this week and next, to be completely honest. I'll try to squeeze in some stuff, but if I miss like a day, or if I'm late on a day, and plus YouTube is just being like a general bag of cocks anyway. So if I can't get this up, I'm recording this on Tuesday, and if I just give up and I upload it on Wednesday, it's whatever. But anyways, that's it for today, and I will see you guys later.